Oh, audio. There we go. Now I see audio. Okay, so let's try this again. So we are back. You probably see a black screen right now, so I'm going to adjust this really quick and grab a different window. I need that one. Hit OK. So now, great, there we go. Okay, I see audio, I see my iPad, and we're good to go. Really sorry about that if you're watching live, but I think we're ready to go. So today we are looking at pages. If you remember this month, if you're in Elkhart, we've been doing pages on the blog all month. So I'm going to hit a couple ideas that we've covered on the blog. If you need something, you can go to blog.elkhart.k12.in.us, and I'll link that in the video when we're done. And that's got the written descriptions for everything we've done. So Pages comes by default on all of the iPads. Students have it, you have it, and it is the iOS word processor. So I've got it open here. When you open Pages, it defaults to just your documents. When you have documents in iCloud, they pop up under your shared documents, but for the most part, we're going to be creating new documents. And so we're going to go kind of step by step and hit a few of the ideas we had talked about in some of those blog posts. And I'm watching the chat, so if you have questions and you're watching, you can go ahead and drop a question in there, and I will answer it as we're going along. In the top right, we have the plus icon, and that opens up the template library in Pages. Now, what's great is that these templates are really rich and they're very easy to use. So one of the posts we talked about modifying the templates for yourself, creating some for students, or having students create their own. And that's kind of where we're going to be launching from today. So you can see they're organized by books, letters, resumes, posters, whatever you're doing. This is a starting point. Students can start these on their own. I'm going to choose one of the book templates because there's a lot here we can do. So I'm going to start with this textbook template. So if your students are doing a report or if they're working on some kind of informational text, this textbook layout can be a way to engage them in many different facets, right? So we're looking at imagery. How do we choose images to communicate ideas? How does our writing reflect what we're trying to do in our book? So I can scroll through and we can replace text. It's a simple tap, and I can delete this material. And when I tap again, or if I undo that, actually, if you double tap on it, you can just edit right here. It pulls up your keyboard, and I can talk about this book is about cells. So there's a lot of literacy components that come into this, from reading and writing and communicating. But again, for our students, they want it to look nice. They don't want to write just a blank page. So the book template can help you with that. Another benefit of templates, and we've got a blog post on this as well, is Pages. One of the functional benefits, really, is that you can embed media directly into the page. So if I want to replace this image with something else, a different image, let's say, I can tap on the plus button, and it jumps right into my photos, and I can go and I can find a picture that I want to use instead. So maybe I'm not doing cells, but we're talking about Mars. So I can grab this picture of Mars from my camera roll, and it drops it right into Pages. I can edit this photo. I can make it larger, and the text will flow around it for me, or I can make it smaller, and it just shrinks down on the page. So editing is very easy. But also notice it's cropped. If I use the paintbrush icon in the top right, on the arrange, I can lock it into a certain position, or I can move it above or below. I can even change the margins around it by increasing on this slider at the bottom. If I go to style, though, I can add shadows or borders. So if I grab this kind of folded image, it adds that, so we can add some just visual improvements to the page itself or to the image itself. You can also edit the mask. So I'm going to take that style off. The image mask is the size it takes up on the page. If I edit the mask, you can see how it's cropped this Mars photo, and I can move my photo up and down within the frame, but I can also two-finger pinch or use the slider to shrink it down to the correct size. So now I can see the whole thing. We hit done, and now the photo takes on those styles that we've added there. And it's not just photos. I can add videos to these as well. So if I have a video prepared, if I tap on the plus button, it opens up my camera roll. I can tap on all photos, and I can add a 3-second, or I can add any video. So here's a 3-second video of me in a library. Actually, let's go back. Let's grab a different one. I'm going to grab this 4-second clip of me looking at a book and looking academic. I push use, and it puts this video straight into the document. And when I push play, it will play right here in the video. Oh, you couldn't even tell. I grabbed the wrong video. Same thing. If I hit the paintbrush, I can tap this replace button, and I can go back and I can pick a different video. So here's one, 20 seconds long, definitely long enough. You can even scrub through and make sure it's the one you want. If I hit use, it replaces it, and it will play right here in the document. So when we're talking about benefits versus drawbacks, Pages, the benefit of this is that students do not need an internet connection in order to watch that media. If I send them this document, all of these media items are included in the document. And for our students without internet access at home, that is a huge time saver, really. It's a big benefit to them because they don't have to rely on that internet connection. I just realized that my iPad dropped its connection, so I'm going to pull this back up really quick. And then we'll look at one or two more things with Pages in particular. And again, all of these are written up on the Instructional Tech blog. Again, that's blog.elkhart.k12.in.us. So let me jump back to my Pages document. Again, here's that video. If I hit play on the video, you can see it plays right here in the document. So that's using a template, modifying a template. If I go back to documents, the instructional benefit of this is that if I have students, I want them to do something specific, I can build these templates ahead of time, and they can then just complete the template as part of their assignment. So I'm having a really hard time today with my iPad. It doesn't want to stay connected to my computer. So in Pages, we can organize these. They all save as recent. They will also link into iCloud. We just show a couple more templates here. So that book one was pretty intense. There's some other ones that are a little bit more reportish, I guess would be the best way to put it. So this ocean views one, let's say. We can click in, and you can see that the pages are a little bit easier to see. It's not as overwhelming visually. If I add a new page, down at the bottom, there's a plus icon, bottom left. There are pre-templated pages, so I can grab a collage and it will fill the right information, or it'll grab this template and then I just fill in what I want. The nice thing too is I can just open my camera. So you see this take video or photo button here. That will kick open your iPad's camera. And I'm not going to do that because I seem to be dropping connection, but you can add an image right from the camera. So if you have a template that you want your students to work on, they can go around, take pictures of their lab, or do their scavenger hunt, or find examples of whatever you're talking about in class and add them straight into the document. As students complete them, they are stored on their iPad, but our students' iPads are also synced to iCloud, so they're all stored online in case they lose one. So now the question becomes, how do we get it back? How do I get this back from my students? So whether I'm using Seesaw or Canvas, it doesn't really matter. But if I'm ready to turn something in, so I'm going to open up this template. Let's say I'm finished. As a student, there's a few different things I can do. I can use the menu, and I can share this document. They can airdrop it to through Apple Classroom. They can export it into the Canvas student app if they're going to put it into Canvas. The other nice place to put it is if there's media, they can export it to the Books app. Let me see. That's across under More. They can drop it into Book Creator. Here's Seesaw there. They can also drop it into Dropbox. If they want to throw it into the Books app and make it non-editable, they go to Export, and they're going to create an EPUB. And they can set the settings here, so who they are, use an image for the cover. When they export, it becomes available in the iBook store, and then they can share them that way with their Apple IDs back and forth to one another. If you are not doing any interactive materials, so the videos, for instance, if I export this as anything other than an EPUB, those videos will not work. They won't work as a Word doc. They won't work as a Google Doc. So you have to keep it in Pages, which means you have to open it on your iPad. If you just need the document, right, if you just want to see the pictures, if you open the menu and do export, PDF is one of your options. It will bake everything together into a single document, and then I can put that PDF wherever I want it. So I can store it in Google Drive. I can store it, I can send it as an email, I can save it here on my iPad as a file, I can put it where I want. I can also drop it into Canvas if I'm turning it into Canvas. I can drop it into Seesaw if I'm turning it into Seesaw. So it gives you a lot more flexibility in where you can put it. But again, those media objects will play if there's audio or video. All the pictures will show up, all the pages will be formatted the same. It keeps the formatting, which is really nice as well. So again, that's a real quick overview of everything we talked about this month with pages. Main benefits are that media embeds, they stay in the document. They don't need an internet connection. The templates are great for kickstarting thinking or to prepare something for students to complete. So let me show you one more example. So this is a music example. So this is a page document I created. This is standards linked in Indiana. I've linked an image. I've got a piece of audio they can listen to and a prompt. And so my students would open this document, type their response here in the prompt. They could add whatever they wanted, right? And as they go through this example, they just reply to each piece of music, and it's all templated out. And when they're done, I know the videos. I know the audio already. So all I need them to do is export as a PDF and submit it to me, and then I can assess this however I choose to. So Pages, again, gives me a lot of flexibility in that sense for preparing templated work for my students to help them stay focused on what we need to stay focused on. And we're going to stop there for today because it's been about 20 minutes. Again, I'm sorry about the streaming issues. We're trying to get this worked out a little bit more. I hope this is helpful. You can always follow us on YouTube. You can follow us on Facebook. You can follow us on Twitter. We are at Elkhart EdTech. Send us an email if you're in the district and check out the blog. That's blog.elkhart.k12.in.us, and we'll link that in the video description. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.